What's up, my Jack family? Coach Scott here. Today I want to address a great question that I received from Geoff over on my Instagram account. Geoff asked what body fat percentage I walk around most of the year and what my preferred tools are for measuring my body fat percentage. But first I want to touch on probably the most important thing that he mentioned in his question, in his comment there, is that he's really struggled to be consistent over the years. So right now he's just focused on consistently hitting his workouts day in and day out. And that, I'm telling you guys, if you just focus on these process-oriented goals, giving the best of yourself to each moment, nailing your daily tasks such as hitting your workouts, getting out for a walk, hitting your calorie target for each and every day, just having that sense of awareness of how your foods impact you, how you feel, your energy, your performance, how your sleep is. Like, really focus on those process-oriented goals and celebrate your victories each and every day. I shared a post on my Instagram account last week. One of my coaching clients, Dean, who I'll share it up here on the screen somewhere. Like, he mentioned that he woke up in the morning feeling that he had given his best to the day before, and just knowing that he gave his best to the day before filled him, that it made him feel great about himself and just made him want to give the best of himself to the day ahead. So focusing on just like celebrating you nailing the process-oriented goals, that is what's that's what matters most. You execute that, the outcomes are going to take care of themselves. So highly encourage you to continue with that kind of focus, Geoff. I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that in your comments. Now, to address your question, I have no idea really what body fat percentage I'm at right now, which is basically where I walk around at most of the year. If I was to guess, I would say 10 to 12% body fat. But again, I really don't care. Like, as I mentioned in my response to you, it doesn't matter to me what body fat percentage I am. What I care about most is that I've achieved a look that I desire, that I appreciate, and more importantly, the most important thing is that I feel my best. Like, I am living my life to the fullest with incredible confidence, pride, zest, and vitality. Those are the most important factors. So when I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I'm happy with what I see, but like that's what matters to me. It's not being a certain body fat percentage. Now, when it comes to how my preferred methods of measuring body fat percentage, again, I just find there's so much room for error, so many inaccuracies with all of the different methods out there. You mentioned that you use calipers. I used calipers a lot when I had my own personal training studio, and as a personal trainer, like, calipers was kind of my go-to method, and there's just so much room for error. In use. Even a trained professional is doing it all the frickin' time. It's just making sure that you grab the exact same spot with the exact same amount of skin that you're grabbing on there. It's tough. There's a lot of inaccuracies. And then when you're using the home little tools, like if you're using an AccuMeasure or something like that, again, on yourself, trying to get those exact same spots. The more spots you can pinch and measure, the more accurate you're going to get overall, but still there's just so many inaccuracies. I think even when you're self-measuring yourself, it can be very easy. Like, you want to see an improvement, maybe you don't grab quite as much skin. It's just, it's not my preferred tool using a caliper there. It's a tool, it's something if you want to measure that. I have a very expensive commercial grade Tanita scale, which I used in my personal training studio as well. I kind of moved from the calipers to that. But even with those home scales, you can throw those measurements off so easily. Like, you drink a big glass of water and you step on the scale, it can show that your body fat percentage went down, your muscle mass went up. So the water, like, it can have a huge, like, how hydrated you are can have an impact on your scale weight. Food in your digestive system can have an impact on your body fat percentage. So again, it's a tool. Again, I would kind of take it all with a grain of salt. I don't even use it. So I have the body fat thing on there. I just use the scale as a gauge of my body weight, making sure that I am moving in the right direction, which brings me to another topic I covered with a coaching client just yesterday, a new coaching client who mentioned that he doesn't do well with stepping on the scale each and every day. It just really throws him for a loop if he sees the scale weight go up or it didn't go down when he did everything right the day before. So he prefers to step on the scale like twice per week, which isn't awful. My thoughts in using the scale weight, stepping on it just once a week or twice a week, is that like if you only step on it that day, like if you feel like you step on the scale every day and the days it goes up, you're thrown off. Well, what happens if the day it goes up is the only day that week that you step on the scale? You've got to wait an entire week before you step on the scale again to, like, it's thinking in your head, holy crap, I didn't make any progress that week. All week long you're going, I gotta push hard, I gotta do even more. You gotta wait a long time to really realize that, oh, that just happened to be just a blip in the radar. One of those days, an off day where maybe I didn't get as much sleep, maybe it's a little bit more stress, maybe it was the food that I ate the day before, maybe I'm holding on to a little bit more water today, maybe I didn't empty out my bladder as much or my bowels as much before stepping on the scale. There's so many different factors that can affect the scale weight. So I prefer the daily measurements to detach emotion from that experience as best you can, but to look at the weekly trends. You're gonna have the ups and downs throughout the week, but as long as you're trending downwards with the scale weight, that's what matters. So I do like measuring scale weight when I'm going through a fat loss journey, when I'm trying to get lean after 40 here, because I'm looking for that trend. So I just want to make sure that I'm moving in the right direction. I don't measure my body fat percentage because I just find it tough. I find it even more inaccurate than the scale measurements, and even it can be a little bit more misleading, and it's just tougher. So I just prefer not to measure body fat percentage at all. I have done the 3D body scan. That was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I was probably just a tiny bit leaner than I am right now. It was at the end of a mini cut. That measured me at 7.4% body fat. I measured myself before going there to get that done on my home Tanita scale, right, almost like spot on with that. So I think my home scale is pretty accurate, but again, so many different factors can cause that to get thrown off. The 3D body scan, that has its own inaccuracies as well. And then there's even DEXA scans. You hear like kind of the gold standard is going into a dunk tank and measuring the water displacement there. DEXA has its room for errors as well. So it's just, when you look at how much error there is and all that, and in the big picture, does it matter? Does it matter if you're 9% body fat or 10% body fat or 12% body fat if you've achieved the look that you desire? Like, it's a look we're going for. It's not like I want to be 8% body fat. What does that look like? 8% body fat looks different on everybody. So depends on how you store your body fat. And 8% body fat is going to have a different impact on how you feel, like how everybody feels. Like some people at, let's even say 10% body fat. 10% body fat, some people are going to feel freaking incredible. They're going to feel on top of the world. They're going to have incredible zest, vitality, confidence. They're going to feel proud of themselves. It's not only, it's achieved the look that they desire and they feel great from it. Other people are just going to feel run down. They're going to feel horrible. Their sex drive can be in the tank. They're just obsessed with food, just starving all the time. Their body's fighting them all the time. So a certain body fat percentage not only is going to look different for everybody, everybody's going to feel different at that body fat percentage. So you should be aiming for the look that you desire, and most importantly, feeling your best, thriving in life. So that's kind of my beat around the bush response to what body fat percentage I'm at. Is I don't care. I love how I look right now. I love how I feel right now. I'm thriving. This is where I thrive. So to me, it doesn't matter what body fat percentage I am. But again, if I was to guess, 10 to 12% body fat, I think that's a good range for me. But yeah. Geoff, I hope that kind of answered your question. I hope it gave insights and helpful tips, advice to our fellow men over 40 who are watching this video. If it did, let me know down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. Do you use body fat as a way to measure your progress as you're moving along? Do you have a certain body fat percentage that you're aiming for? Like, is that your goal? Like, even for me, I never aim for a scale weight goal. It's like, as long as I'm trending in the right direction, I know I'm making progress, I'm moving in the direction I want to go to, but I'm not like I got to get to this weight, that's when I stop. I stop when I achieve the look that I desire and I'm feeling my best, I'm thriving. Like that's where it stops. So yeah, again, before I keep going on, but that's where I'm at. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, your feelings. If you enjoyed today's video, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. I'd really, really appreciate it. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor, share it with them before you go. Don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.